Hello everyone. Today we have a Ninad with us. So in 2021, he is among the top 1500 developers in the world on Stack Overflow. In 2022, he ranked up and became the part of top 700 developers. He is also just some several global hackathons. He also frequently publishes articles and blogs over AngularJS and MongoDB, and he is among the only 30 MongoDB community champion. So who will be the better person today to have this session with us? So hi Ninath, how is it doing?
Hey guys, so thank you first for inviting me, and it is nice to be here with you on your first podcast.
Yes.
It's been quite busy these days. Like in the startup, I'm working in the startup ecosystem, so it is
Hmm.
things have been crazy since AI boom. So there is a lot of things to chase now, and you need to grow in the startup ecosystem day after day. You chase the investments and stuff. So it's been wild. Thank you again for having me here, and I am open to talk with whatever you would like me to discuss with you.
Yes,
Yeah,
same here.
so we have a lot of questions, but then we would like to start with the first things like how did you pursue computer science and what was your motivation? Or did computer science really help you to, you know, uh, get where you are today? So just let's start from that first point.
Well, I started in the engineering since college. So my primary was actually AI, machine learning, neural networks, and
Hmm.
things like that, digital image processing and stuff. But during the college, I switched to web development. That is
Hmm.
what I liked the most, and I started learning it on my own. So the
Okay.
basics and the foundation I got from the college, and then I started learning like crazy. So I was watching YouTube tutorials, reading technical blogs, documentations, watching
Hmm.
courses, attending webinars and conferences and stuff like that. So it took me, I have to say, almost one whole year with all day learning to actually be comfortable and for me to think that I know all the basics, which was enough for me to kind of maybe create the whole application from scratch, both front end and back end and databases.
Hmm.
But that was still not the best practices, right?
Hmm.
Uh, that is how I started. And I knew from day one that I don't want to work in any big company, in like some big corporate world where there is like hundreds of people working there, and your contributions cannot even be solvable when you start. So that is why I decided to start with the freelancing at the
Hmm.
beginning, and that is where things got hard initially because I couldn't find
Hmm.
a good project.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
all my
Yes.
friends from college already started working in some companies, so I got a little bit afraid now. Like, what should I do? Should I continue with what I imagined, or should I also try to find like some job in some company?
Hmm.
And that was a process, I have to say. So it took me maybe, I would have to say that I sent probably more than 500 proposals to a bunch of projects to actually got my first project. So it was really hard. But
Hmm.
I was sure that I have enough knowledge so I can do everything on my own. So
Hmm.
after that 500 plus proposals, I got my first project. Initially, I
Oh,
was so
Oh my
happy.
God. Five.
wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was sending maybe 10, 20 proposals a day. So it didn't took that long, but you know,
Hmm.
uh, usually the big companies would not even that is a whole process. You have to go through a whole bunch of interview stages, and maybe they will never reach back to you at all. Maybe they will after a few months saying that you are rejected and stuff like that. I had one time that I even forgot about that company. So that was happening when I was first sending the proposals, like in the first 500. So one of the companies reached out back to me after 1 year saying that I was not selected, and I was like, "What?" I didn't even remember what this company is. So
Hmm.
that was the big process. But I would say that that first project is the hardest one. After you make that milestone, everything gets much easier because you have some references to show to all your future clients.
Yes. Hmm.
And after that, I got like second and third projects in the same time. So I had two projects, and then like the fourth project came. So I had three projects in the same time. At that time, I finished the first project. I was like so happy. Like I was things started to keep going, and then my journey led me to, of course, like as a standalone developer, I had to do a bunch of stuff, new things every day. Like I knew the basics, but every specific thing I
Hmm.
had to explore how to do. So I ended up like being on the Stack Overflow for I don't know, hours and hours every day. And after maybe 1 year of being there and getting other people's answers, I started being comfortable to start actually answering some of the questions on my own. And
Hmm.
while answering, I discovered that I'm also learning a lot because I would know how to answer in general like some questions Stack Overflow that somebody asked, but there were always some missing pieces to apply for his specific use case that he's asking for. So I would have to
Hmm.
explore these things that were missing, and then you would gain like
Mhm.
additional knowledge. So I ended up like actually answering really a lot of questions, and I focused from the start on specific technologies that I liked. That was Angular, that was Node.js, and that was MongoDB. So these three
Mhm.
became my stack, and I didn't want to go out of my stack. Because if I
Mhm.
would go out of my stack, I would not be able to be on top of all the new things everywhere. So even
Yes.
these three
Right.
things were really hard for me to track all the changes, all the new best practices. Like there is something new almost every day, especially nowadays. Like there is even new
Mhm.
framework, so probably every week. So it is really hard
But
to stay on top of
mhm.
everything.
But then, when let's say we are starting to contribute on Stack Overflow, or is it the right time now? Because I was reading one article, and then they said that the Stack Overflow, visits, website visits, have been reduced by almost 50 or more than 50% since the advent of AI and the Copilot tools. So what would be your advice for beginners, I mean, on this point especially?
So here is the thing. I also saw that article, and the website visits dropped significantly for Stack Overflow, right? But here is why. Because people started using ChatGPT and all other LLMs, right? Claude and Perplexity and whatever. So these LLMs are trained on the Stack Overflow's data. So when you ask a question to ChatGPT or Claude, they would probably give you the answer based on the Stack Overflow most voted answer, right? So
Yes.
for all the standard things, like a general problems, LLM will probably help you out immediately out of the box for like
Hmm.
simple things. But if there is something specific to your use case that is not yet covered, and then maybe LLM would probably hallucinate there. So
Hmm.
then it actually makes sense for you and post a question on Stack Overflow because you will get an actual answer that is valid for what you actually need. It's
Yes.
what you are asking is not like a general thing; it's specific thing for you only. So LLM it probably doesn't have the answer. It will give you an answer. Probably it will not be 100% correct because it will hallucinate a little bit. So that is why I think Stack Overflow is still a thing, and it is going to be a thing.
Yeah, so I mean, in all this journey, what was your biggest challenge as a junior developer? So you have been coding a lot, and then there would be some phase in your life or in your development journey that you would have faced some challenge, and you just felt that this is the thing that has changed me to become a senior developer or a better developer at my skills.
Yeah, so the switch for me happened when I joined the startup ecosystem. So the startup ecosystem is literally crazy. Like things are happening there on a daily basis. Everything is always on fire. Like you keep pushing things hard. Everything should be done fast, and it's basically you only work and sleep, and it is so challenging and it is so interesting and everything. Like you enjoy it, and it is hard at the same time, and a whole bunch of mixed feelings and stuff. But that is where you develop the most. That is where like your knowledge started grow exponentially. There is like all flows that you have to build, all use cases, like from UI to backend to databases to security to scalability. So there is all bunch of things and areas where you will improve on a fly, and you will probably not even notice that. And the how times flies, like you will probably collect the code for almost everything that you need in general, that every application would need, right? Every application would need, for example, user authentication, or most of them would need a payment. You of course need maybe a SEO, metadata setup, or I'm just giving an examples. So you will probably spend a lot of time when you do things like that for the first time, but every second time you do it for any new application that you build, you would have it like you can literally copy paste the code from previous repositories, and that would just you will just maybe adapt a little bit for your new application needs, and that would just work. So that I think like startup ecosystem is the best one for personal growth. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so like the next question was like today like AI is in trend, right? So when we club two things, AI and the database, like there is I'm able to remember two quotes here. One from Andrew Ng, like AI is the new electricity, and another was from Clive Hamby, that data is the new oil. And when we club together, like the magic happens, right? So what I like, as we gone through your some profile, right? So you have worked on RAG as well as segmented image search using AI and database. So what's your take on this, like AI plus database on this combination?
Yeah, as I said, there are
Right.
the whole new market opened up where especially filtering and searching is can be done in a much more improved manner
Mm-hmm.
than the old conventional ways. So nowadays, like you can do, there is a whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
new vector databases, and basically what you do if you have like your own set of data and you need to do filtering and searching based on it, you can just create an embedding for each record and put it in some vector database. And then you can do
Right.
vector similarity based on it. And that would give you much
Mm-hmm.
better results than any search before. So users can start asking like semantic questions, like he would just type something that he would usually ask for in the when he talks with his friend, but he would actually get the meaningful responses from the application.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not the case before, and now like all the companies wants to adapt to that, right? Because they want to optimize journeys for their own customers. So every single company now wants to have at least some
Mm-hmm.
AI integrated into their own solution. So the hype for AI is still there, and it will probably be there for a while until like all the needs for internal companies products are satisfied with improved user journeys and UX and customer needs and stuff. So it is still like a big portion on the market, and AI
Mm-hmm.
developers are really needed. That is what I also see. As I said,
hmm,
I my primary was AI, machine learning, and neural networks, and so on. I went out from there and switched to web, but all my friends stayed there, and all my friends are so occupied right now. They are all working really hard on the AI sector. So it is a really exploding market.
but then you mentioned about web dev and MongoDB. So what was it that sparked that interest in MongoDB only? And I mean, you became a champion, and if let's say someone has to be a part of MongoDB community or any other community, let's say in general in tech. So what would be your advice? I mean, you can just mention about the interest which you had, and what sparked that interest, and then you moved into those communities and started contributing over there.
Yeah, so my journey, as we spoke, started in freelancing, and then that led me to Stack Overflow. So
Hmm.
as I said, started answering a lot on Stack Overflow, and I was focusing a lot of MongoDB as well. So I had
Hmm.
my stack, as I said, it was Angular, Node.js, and MongoDB. So I was answering a lot of questions on MongoDB, and people from MongoDB saw that. So I was approached by MongoDB, where they asked me if I would like to join their creator program. So that is the initial program before Champions. And when I joined the creator program, I was able to start writing like articles for the official MongoDB blog.
Hmm.
It was like great because that gave me a big exposure. Since MongoDB blog has like millions of visits every month, right? And then
Yes.
I was asked to join the as a subject matter expert to for the MongoDB certification team, where we I would be involved into creation of the actual MongoDB certificates. So that is a
Hmm.
bunch of technical questions that people would answer when they are taking the extra exam. So that is a whole process how that is done. So that takes
So that's how you got into MongoDB and the
yes,
yeah,
that is how I
MongoDB channel.
initially got involved, and after that, the woman that was led the certification team in Mongo proposed me as a new champion. So champions are selected once a year, and they can be nominated either by existing champions or by internal people.
Okay.
So I was nominated by the girl name is Judine, so I thank her. And hey Judine, if you're watching this. So she nominated me, and I got selected. And after that, I got a bunch of new opportunities to be exposed with Mongo. I was invited to join their yearly conference in London. I was speaking there in their one of their sessions. I also founded like a local MongoDB local community. So it's an official community. It's part of the big Mongo community, but every city in the world can open one if they have enough people. So, for example, you can start your own, and then you can be the first leader, and then you can find a few more leaders, and then you would organize like
Hmm.
events, and that is like really awesome because in your local community you can like for example once a month or once every 3 months you can either organize an event where somebody would present something that they did in their company, or you can just join together and have like a good networking, right? It is that is really important because you would meet new people, especially if you are early in your career. Maybe you will meet somebody that has an open position in his company, so he can recommend you, or there is a lot of opportunities. Maybe you will find
Hmm.
a potential future partner. Maybe you will meet somebody that had the same problem you are having right now in your application, so he can tell you how he solved it. And there is a bunch of opportunities there to for growth.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting actually. But I just have one question in this regard. That you joined MongoDB, and then there were recommendations that you do these certifications, and then you did them, and you got better at those skills. But certifications in general, what's your opinion about that? So let's say we have cloud certifications, or there are, let's say, a Java developer certification. We have so many certifications. So do they actually help? I mean, I just have that question always.
In my personal opinion, probably not that much. So the having the actual paper that says that you know something, like that's not
Hmm.
helpful if people don't ask if you have that paper, right? Usually they would ask you if you know how to do things.
Hmm.
So I personally was never asked if I have any certifications. So they would like the interviews I had was generally on the technical level. They would ask me questions, and I would jump into the technical discussions with them. So no paper mentioning at all, but
Hmm.
actually going through the courses is helpful because you gain knowledge. Now,
Hmm.
usually, like I know, Coursera and Udemy are two most popular platforms. In Coursera, I remembered that is where I learned the most from the web development. There was one Indian professor from the University of Hong Kong, I think. He Yogesh Mupala was his name. I remember
You still remember?
that he was the best educator I ever heard of. Like he was transferring knowledge so good, and everything he
Hmm.
was like saying, I was absorbing because he was so good. And from him, I learned all the basics. And Coursera was free. I don't know if it's still the case. That was like 6 7 years ago. So I watched all his courses, and in the end, there is a place where you can purchase an actual certificate that you finish the course. I
Yes.
personally didn't have much money back then, so I didn't want to spend money on that. So
Hmm.
I just finished all the courses, but didn't get the actual certificates. But knowledge was there. That was what was important. I was going through the
Hmm.
because of knowledge, not because of the papers. And I would say don't stress too much over like getting like certificates and stuff. Try to try to find a good resources where you think you would get a lot of knowledge, because in the end, like if you know how to do job, you can like even if you join some company, you can evolve quickly and like get promotions and stuff.
So, yes, and I just have one more question in this aspect that, for you, I guess, from your journey, it seems like Stack Overflow played a very important role in, um, in your public profile, I would say, getting you noticed, and then MongoDB guys approached you. So, what are other ways to build, strong profiles like
I
you
have
have?
one. I think this is the best recommendation I can give. So when you start, for
Hmm.
sure, 100%, spend at least one day and create your own personal website. That is the best thing you can have. That
Hmm.
website can be just one page website where you will say who you are, what you do, what are your interests. Uh,
Hmm.
but I would advise you to even go one step further and uh, make that website to be your own personal blog. And then whenever you do something in your college, some project, or like if you watch some YouTube tutorial where you learn something, or some you go through some course where you learn something, write one blog post about it. So for example, how to do authentication with permission based, right, authentication, or role based, or like
Hmm.
how to optimize query performance in MongoDB or SQL, right? So write blog posts. Uh, that I'm saying this because that increases your credibility when you are applying to jobs a lot. So when somebody is
Hmm.
watching your portfolio and there is a section like my website that gives you like a lot of credibility against other candidates, because you are actually really professional and you're probably really good because you already have your own website, and when they go there they would see, oh, this guy already wrote articles about this topic, so he's probably like much better than other candidates. So I think that is
Hmm.
the best advice I can give you. I remember, as I said, when I was freelancing, I was really active on Upwork, and I noticed really big change from the times where I was sending proposals without my personal website, and then when I actually created my personal website and start adding the website inside the proposal. So when I started adding the website, I got reached back much more than I used to. So that is, in my opinion, the best advice I can give. Start
Hmm.
building your online presence. Start be so your own blog. start writing maybe on LinkedIn, be active there. Like whenever you learn something, post on your blog, on LinkedIn. LinkedIn offers you 200 connections a week. I think use that, send 200 connections to random people from tech, from all
Hmm.
around the world. Like build your network. Uh,
Hmm.
Maybe somebody from, I don't know, from US or China or Russia or Canada would like your post, and some company would see it because of that. So maybe they would reach to you. So you never know that. So I would
Yes.
say like,
Mhm.
building your online presence is nowadays the most important. You can be the best person in the world in some programming language, and if you are not having if nobody sees that, that means nothing. If somebody sees that,
Hmm.
that means you're probably like a CEO of Google or something. So that is, yeah, yeah. So I would
So,
say online presence is really, really important nowadays.
hmm. So, just one question on this aspect that you did a lot of things and you reached a certain level, let's say from a junior to a senior engineer. So, what are the things which you are doing right now to, let's say, stay updated or reach the next level, which you are, there might be something which you might be aspiring for. So, how do you deal with, work on those things then?
Uh, how I stay on top of everything. So I am actively monitoring the Medium, the
Hmm.
dev.io, or was it dev. Let me check. So it is dev.to Medium. So you can create your own tags for the topics that you're interested at, and you can subscribe to a weekly newsletter. So whenever something came out from the topics you're interested at, you will be notified. That probably involves like a lot of noise, so you will probably see a lot of things that is not interesting at all. Maybe you already saw it or you know already know how to do it, but from time to time you will see something really interesting. Or like I don't know, there is a new version of Angular. The team from Google would create an official post about it with all the changes they made, and so you will see that, and then you will go and check the official documentation for all the changes. So the most important thing is once you became an expert in something, you need to
Mhm.
keep your knowledge fresh. You need to stay on top of all the new changes, of all the latest best practices. And once you do
Hmm.
that, like you are on a really good path to actually succeed in the career, I think. Because
Hmm.
like you will be actually really competitive against other people. You already know a lot and you know all the latest practices.
Updates.
And, you know there is a lot of things you have against other people. That takes a lot of time and effort,
Mhm.
but I would say it pays off in the end.
Hmm.
So it's really, yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
So, just one last question that um, what would be your one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self that would have made things easier for you?
Well, I suppose that I should have started with my online presence a little sooner. I was like a little shy to start writing things online. I was always thinking like,
Mhm.
what do I
Hmm.
know? Like there are people that knows much more than me, right? So why would I
Hmm.
started writing something? But that was a mistake. Like you should always post, uh, especially if it is work related, like on LinkedIn at least.
Mhm.
Just start posting things. Online presence is really really important. So
Hmm.
I would create my own personal website sooner.
Mhm.
I would start my blog sooner. So that these are the things that I would do like much sooner. That is like that is what I found to be really important later.
Yeah. So yeah, the next one thing I will coming in my mind is like what see in your future. Like you are working as a full stack developer when you have a proficiency in MongoDB. how you are looking in the next 5 years? Like you are looking some major scope in MongoDB, or you are like thinking to like explore anything new or something like that?
I don't think I don't see myself exploring something
Mm-hmm.
new. So guys, in general, everything can be done in any programming
Hmm.
language. That is like in
Hmm.
general. You can do the same thing in JavaScript, for example, Node.js on the backend, or with Java, or with .NET, or with Python. Generally, everything can be done in any programming
Hmm.
language. That's why I said like it's best to focus on one, because you will know all the features of that one, and you will become expert, and
Hmm.
you can optimize things and stuff.
Hmm.
So that is why like I'm really comfortable with my own stack, because I
Right.
was working with it for like 7 8 years now.
Hmm.
So I am really comfortable with whatever I'm asked to do. I can do it. So that's why I don't think of
Right.
changing anything. Just keeping on top of the new things in my own stack.
Hmm.
And I would propose that the same to anyone. Like, don't
Hmm.
listen to others. What is the better? Like, whatever you like the most, stay with it, stick with it, and like things can be done in with any programming language the same as it would be done in any other. So it just like the how many lines of code, how much type safety you prefer, like how what is your like
Hmm.
coding practices, what you like the most, where you feel most comfortable, stay with that.
Right. Makes sense.
But then, since we have AI coming
Yeah.
in, so uh, do you think a lot of things would change in our, in our technologies or anything in tech in general? I mean,
Yeah, so I personally gain a lot time saved from LLMs, especially Claude.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys know, there is something called Claude Code. That is like
hmm,
a tool
Hmm.
where you can use from within the
Hmm.
terminal, and it can code for you with prompts.
Hmm.
But it has
hmm,
the word code of your whole repository, so you can navigate him through the files, what to read, what to do, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So that is, I think, the game changer for the industry. So it's much better than actually going to the
Hmm.
ChatGPT website or Cloud website and started asking questions. Like, because
Hmm.
now from within your, for example, Visual Studio Code, you just open the terminal and he already has the context of your repository. So all the files
hmm,
in the system and the content, you navigate him and he do things. So that was a game changer, and that saves a lot of time. So the productivity for the developers
Hmm.
increases a lot.
Right.
I think it saves like probably 50% of my time that I would do some things, like
hmm,
it would save me. I would ask him to do it, and then usually he would not get it 100% right.
Hmm.
But it saved me a lot of times of actually me writing the code. Now I just have to go through the things he changed and update if needed.
Hmm.
So that is a big
hmm,
game changer. I personally don't see it replacing backend that
Hmm.
much as the current state. It just helps a lot, but increasing productivity. But from the front end itself, I think front end, especially Claude, is really good. He creates, from what I saw, and I worked with it on the front end as
Hmm.
well. He would
hmm,
create you decent looking
Hmm.
UI without custom design from Figma, for example. He would create you like decent looking UI, much better than I would do myself, and it would be mobile friendly, and it would cover all the data that you would want.
Right.
So, for example, you have some data in JSON format. You will give him the example data, and he will
hmm,
build like a dynamic component that would cover that.
Hmm.
It's nice looking and it's mobile friendly. So that is something that he would do in one prompt, probably in like 2 minutes, and you would probably spend 2 days doing that. So it
hmm,
really, really game changer. I don't think the developers will be changed though. Like it's just like their productivity will be increased, so one person can do much more things now than he used to do it. If he actually started using language models, so that is
Yeah. The expectations will be more from one developer now.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and like nowadays, like some that agentic AI is also in trend. Like many of the companies are creating their own agentic AI. So which like the whatever tools we are
Hmm.
having, like in-house tools which only the company persons are using, are going getting replaced by that agentic AI. So like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that is a bigger thing now.
Right.
Like everybody wants to have their own like agentic friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that is also a big opportunity because that is like a new kind of newer thing. So people can start focusing on learning how to do this, and then started proposing other companies
Mm-hmm.
that companies would give the money for them to do it, right? So
Yeah.
that is it's a huge demand nowadays. As I said, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are still in the AI.
Mhm.
One of my best friend, he is also in a freelancing, and he is reached out almost every day on LinkedIn from
Mhm.
companies. So it is about AI and custom drugs and agentic.
Right.
So the need is really huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm. So AI skills are also necessary nowadays, along with whatever we are doing. I mean, back end or front end, let's say.
yeah. I would say yes. If you want to be
Mm-hmm.
competitive,
Hmm.
you should use it, but to help you, not to replace you, right? Because it will
Right.
Hmm.
increase your productivity, and you can be more competitive. One more thing that I just came out of my mind is to optimize LinkedIn profiles. The friend I just mentioned, he's reached out on a daily basis on LinkedIn, and he was actually surprised why is that. So he asked many people, "How did you find me?" And they said that they found him through some online services for people recommendation. These services would usually scrape LinkedIn and similar platforms and then recommend people based on that. So he had his LinkedIn optimized for the search engines. So like
Okay.
the
Hmm.
descriptions and everything. So also that is like maybe one important thing to consider when working on your online presence. Like optimization is on the LinkedIn is really really good because you will probably get more companies reached out to you then.
All right, Ninat, Atharva.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was a
Thank you.
great session.
Yes.
We got to learn a lot, and
Yes. Definitely.
hope our audience would also like the same. And yes.
Thank you guys for inviting me, and it was really a pleasure.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.